They say if you don't always look back when you're walking away from your car, then you bought the wrong car. But for some people on a tighter budget with boring cars, you might look back and just be like,
"Go on, get out of here. Listen to me. Go, 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 go."
Well, today, to help those people fix that, I've got what I would say are the 6 best looking modern-ish American muscle cars you can get for under 10 grand. Let's get into it. For videos like these, I usually only use prices from dealerships, but this time I went based on private sale prices. They should still all be pretty easy to find for under that 10 grand mark with decent miles and in good condition, but because of the years and everything, it just made more sense to do it this way. Also, these are generally in order with the ones I like more towards the end, but for the most part, I actually can't decide which ones I like better or worse than others, especially for the first 3 or 4. Without rambling on anymore, the first car is the 87 to 93 Foxbody Mustang. I'm not including the Foxbodies from before 87 because I'm not really as much of a fan of those, but I know some people actually prefer them. The biggest difference between them is the front bumper and headlight change. I also definitely liked the updated 87 interior more, but other than that, the backs are really similar and the sides are pretty much the same. All the 87 to 93s weigh just over 3,000 pounds and almost all of them make 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. For whatever reason though, in 93, Ford apparently looked at those numbers and they were like,
"Guys, it's too much. Excuse me, it's too much."
So they just made a bunch of tweaks to the engine. Because of that, the 93s make a little less power with a reported 205 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. Some people say they think this was an underestimate, which might be true, and the tweaks mostly seem like they were done for emissions and fuel economy. These have also got good modding potential, which I factored in for each of the cars here. After just a few things on these, they go from, in my opinion, looking all fun and innocent to really serious rides. If I had one, look-wise, I'd probably want big ol' wheels in the back and a cowl hood, which is actually a pretty popular look for them. The next car is the 98 to 02 FBody Firebirds. Similar to how I felt about the Foxbodies, these got an update in 98, and I'm not as much of a fan of the older ones. They're also very similar to the FBody Camaros, but I definitely prefer a clean Firebird over a clean Camaro. I especially like the ones with the Trans Am hoods, although the Trans Am would be hard to find for under 10K. That extra scoop for some reason just makes me think of like a dragon or something, like fire's about to come out of the front.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, that's probably a pretty weird comparison, but just let me know if anyone else is thinking the same thing, so I'm maybe not the only one thinking that. Between 98 and 02, they have either 275 or 320 horsepower and between 325 and 340 pound-feet of torque. The lighter ones weigh around 3,400 pounds and the heavier convertibles get up to around 3,600. Although I'm not a huge fan of the backs when they don't really have a wing because of the bubbly style, I think the wing definitely adds enough structure to it, and I obviously really like the fronts. These are also one of the 3 cars here with pop-up headlights, so you know these are aerodynamic, and that's a plus 20 horsepower when the headlights are down.
Yeah, this is big brain time.
The third car for today is the 3rd gen Camaro made between 82 and 92. They came with between 170 and 245 horsepower and between 255 and 345 pound-feet of torque. And they weigh less than 3,400 pounds. I never thought these looked bad, but to be brutally honest, I used to not really like these. That being said, in the past couple of years, I ended up really appreciating the strong muscle car vibes they give off. They've got that ridiculously long front end, they're really short, and from those two things put together, a very wide look. It doesn't seem like people do too many appearance mods to them, so they might not have too much potential looks-wise beyond wheels, maybe a front splitter, and maybe headlights and a rear lip, but when I was looking, I found this.
What in the goddamn?
I don't even know what the thought process was for this, and part of me really doesn't want to. And as if the front wasn't bad enough, look at the back. Personally, I'm not really a fan of how it's all bubbly and everything and why... Hold up. Alright, yeah, I had to click on this to see what the deal was with the side pipes, and turns out this thing gets a hell of a lot wilder. First of all, the side pipes are made of fiberglass and are completely fake. Also, I didn't know which of these was actually more ridiculous, so I'm deciding to say them both at the same time. Second and third, this thing costs $250,000, and the entire interior is covered in different animal furs.
That's disgusting.
Credit where credit's due, the guy who built this did a lot of work, and I'd actually say it looks pretty decently put together, but sometimes a lot of work doesn't really mean it's good work. That's just my 2 cents. Somebody out there is probably in love with this. Moving on from whatever that was, we have the 84 to 93 Chevrolet Corvette. These are another one that I used to not really be a fan of. I was way too disappointed with how they look compared to every Corvette that came before and after them, but I've actually learned to appreciate how pure 80s they are. Chevy made small adjustments to the front of the car as the years went on, but a more significant change was done to the back. The rounded rear bumper came out on the ZR1s in 1990 and was later added to all other trims in 91. Before that, they had the flatter design, which I personally like way more. They also switched the interior from the boxy look to a curvier design. A lot of people talk about these as one of the best cars under 10 grand, so we all know that that's true, but I actually saw someone buy one that ran well with 70-ish thousand miles for around $3,000. That was pretty surprising, and I actually know that there were a few others in that same price range. For the second to last car today, we've got the oldest one and another Corvette. It's the 1973 to 82 C3s. I wasn't sure if I was really going to add these because I wanted to try to not go before the 90s and stay away from older classics, but I think it would just be wrong to make this list and not include a C3. In my eyes, they're basically the epitome of a cheap, good-looking American car. They're also pretty versatile. If you want more of a muscle car, take off the mufflers, maybe put a wing on it and a new hood, and get some wheels. If you want a really classy car, just keep it clean and original looking. People who aren't car guys also usually think these are way more expensive than they actually are, so for everyone who loves the cheap cars that make you look rich videos, these are a decent option. The only downside I'd say these have is that when I drive one at least, it doesn't feel like something I'd go crazy in. I just wouldn't feel right putting the gas to the floor and seeing how fast I could go or revving it up anywhere near redline. There's still a lot of fun to drive though, and it's so hard to beat those T-tops. By the way, some Firebirds also have T-tops, and the C4 are target tops, which are still really nice, but it's a lot harder taking off a single big roof panel than 2 small ones. And personally, I'd take something like a target top or T-tops over a convertible any day because I'm not a fan of the soft top look, and in my eyes, a convertible is just one more thing to have go wrong. The final car for today, which I'd say has the most modding potential out of these, is the New Edge Mustang GTs made between 99 and 03. The first SN95 Mustangs are from 1994 and are probably the cheapest Mustangs you can buy, but the updated ones called the New Edges came out in 99, and I'd pay a little extra for the updated, meaner look any day. If I had one of these and wanted to make it look good, I'd lower it just a little bit, get bigger wheels or just spacers if I was on a tighter budget, and get either a Saline or Cobra front bumper with a Cobra rear lip. I'd obviously keep all the GT and Mustang badges though, because I know it already seemed too much like I was trying to make it a fake Cobra, and a lot of people don't really like bumper replacements.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
Beyond the half-decent stock look and big potential these things have, they also make a great sound. Honorable mentions for the list are the S197 Mustang GTs made between 05 and 09 and Charger RTs made between 06 and 2010. These both have more modding potential than probably anything else on the list, but the downside is they're pretty hard to find for under 10 grand. And if you do find one under that price point, it'll almost definitely have over 100,000 miles. A lot of people are fine with that. Personally, I don't like to buy cars with over 100K, but if you don't really care, then these are also a great option. You can also sometimes find 5th gen Camaro V6s for under 10,000 bucks, and the S197 V6s are obviously an option too, but for some reason, I didn't really feel like those would fit this list very well. There you have it. Those are what I would call the 6 best looking modern-ish American cars you can buy for under $10,000. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of these and what else you'd add to the list. Also, real quick, let me know if you think I should start making videos about non-American cars too. I was working on a quickest cheap cars video for cars from around the world, and the number of cars to go over got a little intimidating, so I feel like it might be better to just split it up into JDM and European. But if you guys would rather I stick to American cars and kind of get into the car person type videos, I'm obviously happy to do that because American cars are what I know best, and between going to meets and the Liberty V8's Instagram, I see a lot of the car scene. I genuinely appreciated all the comments on the last one about what you guys think I should make, and if you guys could just let me know again, that'd be awesome. For anyone who's new to the channel, I upload American car news and content like this every week. If there's something you want to see or a question you have, leave a comment below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. As always, thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you all next week. Have a great day.